Warning: the opinions presented in this video may offend those who can't handle the truth. If you have opinions on this album that differ from my own, just know that your opinions are invalid and wrong. Enjoy!
What's poppin', YouTube? It's your boy, JL805. And today, I'm gonna be doing the long-awaited by nobody but myself, ranking tracks on my album. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So basically how this video is gonna work is I'm going to listen to my album again because I haven't listened to my album probably fully in like a year. And then I asked you guys on Instagram, give me your hot takes on the album. So I'm gonna take the hot takes of the album and then I'm gonna be ranking my tracks on the album from my favorite to my least favorite. So if you haven't checked the album out already, you might wanna do that. I'm gonna put it somewhere. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. So without further ado, I'm gonna listen to the album.
Let's go.
Is that distortion?
I'm just realizing Kyle just added a monster vocal. Oh shit. Am I tripping or do I look like I'm in pain on the album cover? I like that song transition more than I remember liking it.
Hello. I'd like to report a disturbance.
This is gonna be hard. This is gonna be so hard. I forgot I did that. I'm good. Damn. That's just gas, bro.
So like halfway through the recap, I was kind of questioning whether the recap was even worth it because it's like a 40-minute album, right? But then like as I got further and further through, I started realizing like, dang, these tracks are like actually the notions I had about in my mind, which like, oh, which tracks are better than which, because I'm ranking like based on kind of enjoyment and stuff like that. I thought the discrepancies were further. Okay, let me go to the track list. So I got my little document mostly done. All right, I finished ranking the tracks. I don't know, I feel fairly solid about some of them. Overall, it's very shaky still. So at number 11, we have Robarts. I know a lot of you guys, specifically NJ, probably not gonna like this one, that I ranked it so low. I ranked it low for multiple reasons. Okay, so I think the lead that plays throughout the first half of the beat is great. Like it's probably my favorite part about the song, but I feel like a lot of the things in the track just are not good about this track. It's too short, so the idea is not fully fleshed out. The second beat switch, which is supposed to be like an outro, it feels incomplete because it feels like too short to be a second half, but too long to be an outro. Kind of overstays its welcome. The mixing on the track is iffy. The drums for at least the first section, and I think the second section, because I think they share the same drums except for the 808 pattern, just don't hit as hard as I feel like they could. Really, like the first 15 seconds are probably the best part of this track. So at the number 10 spot, we have Backtrack, the remix. So people like this one too because they like bars J. I'm not a huge fan of this track. I think maybe because every time I hear the track, I think of the intro track from my like first mixtape that I ever released, and it makes me internally cringe into oblivion. But overall, looking back on this track, I don't dislike it as much as I thought I was going to. Going back on it, this is one of those tracks that I haven't revisited as many times. I mean, I do like the way this track, like it did serve its purpose on the album. The purpose of this was to call back to my older fans, like people who have been with me. I hate calling people like fans. So I feel like it does serve that purpose and it's fun, like it has some bars and stuff like that, but no, overall I feel like all of the tracks on the album, aside from number 9, which I'm kind of in contention with, are better than this one. So at number 9, we have Southside 805. Now I know a lot of people really are not gonna like this one because they really do like Southside. And I like Southside too, don't get me wrong. Actually, that's a lie, I don't. I feel like it's kind of a novelty track, and so maybe because I've listened to it so many times, the novelty is kind of worn off. I do like the samples, like the beat's pretty good, the beat switch, the skit flows really well into the second part of the beat. I do like the O'Reilly beat flip still. If this song gets me sued in the future though, it will definitely not be worth it. Overall though, I mean like, what, like it's more bars J, that's what people want to hear, like some people. Anyways, I feel like the introduction that this track was trying to do, I feel like Who Is That kind of does it better. It's cool, but it's just not for me as much as the other songs on here. So at number 8 we have Type. So this is it's probably like the general public's least favorite track on this album. I would say it's also fairly novelty. It's like jokey, there's like humorous punchlines and stuff like that, but I do really like this track. I feel like it's probably the best executed troll jokey track, novelty track that I have on the project. Even if the beat is really simple, it was supposed to, like, it's really supposed to be like a mock West Coast type beat, but no, I think Caleb and I have really great chemistry, and this track is a great example of that. I also do a lot of samples and cool like mixing things and vary up the production, which I do on the tracks below, but I feel like this track it's executed better. The mixing is better as well. Yeah, I feel like I've gone over that enough. Okay, so number 7 we have PowerPoint. Now, PowerPoint I really like as a track. This is probably my most experimental track on the album. The mixing was, like, I made some choices that I don't normally make in terms of like panning, and I like quadruple layered certain vocals. Well, I feel like it gave the track some energy. The vocal mixing leaves a lot to be desired. On my part, the track is also a bit long. Caleb's verse is great. I don't know, I think Caleb's honestly the highlight of the track. That being said though, like having it at 7 doesn't mean I don't like it, because this is where I start really liking the tracks, like 7 and beyond. Even 8 and beyond, I really like the tracks, and these are tracks that like I would go back to and listen to regularly. One thing I will say about this track though is that the incorporating Ninja's vocals at the end for the outro is really funny. And sometimes, even though this track is really long, I've gone through listens where this 5 minutes doesn't feel that long, but other times, if you're not really in the mood to listen to this song, it can really drag, or if the song just isn't for you. So next up at the number 6 spot, we have Tactical Nuke. Now, I know this is like my biggest song on my project. It has the most, I don't even know if I would say pop appeal, because I feel like other songs that I've made have more pop appeal, but this is the most memeable song. All of that aside, the track is cool. I really like the instrumental switch up that I did on Cho's second verse. It's clean, like the mixing is clean, it sounds good and everything. Something about it doesn't excite me as much as other tracks that I ranked higher on the album. Regardless, I still have a soft spot for Tactical Nuke just because it's funny and I like doing these types of meme tracks. Anyways, moving on to track 5, we have Who Is That? Now, I really like Who Is That. The beat is just super easy to do like a cypher or a freestyle or to rap to in general. It's just like a really catchy beat. The beat switch is really good too, like or not even the beat switch, the melody change that I have. Even going back on it is something I'm really proud about. There's this one effect where like I tape stop and then I incorporate like a siren and some other like funny meme samples and stuff like that I think's incorporated really well in the project. The Kayla verse is cool. I feel like this is like my most solid introduction track that I've done to date. And I really think it's a great intro for the album. So at number 4, we have Who Really Cares. I really like Who Really Cares. Maybe before making the music video, because I already knew I was going to make the music video, but when I actually started recording and listening to it over and over, it really didn't get too stale to me. From the outside, if you're saying, oh, it's just a song about me, you know, struggling in first year, you know, having a hard time adapting to school, just feeling those pressures, it sounds kind of corny on the outset, but overall I think it was executed pretty well. The track doesn't overstay its welcome. It's short, it's sweet. The outro is super nice. Shout out to NJ for that because he played the piano. Yeah, I just don't have too many negatives to say about this track. I really like it. So 3rd on my ranking list, the 805 classic, Ice Cold. So when I included this track on my project, it's not just because, you know, Cy J, rest in peace, passed, and I was like trying to like milk him for clout or anything, which I think most people know, but I really just love this song. It was probably the first song I made where I had that realization that like, oh yeah, I can do this. I can, you know, make a hit. I can make a super catchy hook. And this is probably the turning point in my musical career where I started feeling confident in myself. Just like the chemistry in the studio that, because Kosi, we were doing a collab project at the time, so we hopped on afterwards, but originally it was just me and Masai in the studio. This was the first time we worked, sadly the only time we worked, and like we were talking about a tape after this song. Like that's how strong of a connection that we felt. You know, it was like a 12-hour session. We were just chilling the entire time.
For context, the studio session that I'm referring to was a mutual friend's birthday party. It wasn't just like a one-on-one 12-hour session.
His verse is so hard on this project, and just because of like the energy and I think the memories I have attached to this song, I rank it so highly because I really love this song. All right, Who's gonna get the number 1 spot? Who's gonna get the number 2, baby? Drum roll! So here are the number 1 and number 2 spots. As you can see on the screen, I rank Trust the Grind second and I Need 25 first. So I'll start with Trust the Grind. This is probably my most ambitious, complex track that I have on the entire project. And it was the first time that I had this really grand idea and it panned out very close to how I wanted it to go. I can't even think right now of a thing that I would have differently about this song. It's something great that you can just chill and relax to. The subject matter is really great. You know, I'm talking about just being back at home, making music. And even though I hadn't seen much progress in my music up to this point, I kind of just figured things would run its course. You know, it's about trusting the grind. There were certain things that like I'll look back on this project because I remember how they were unmixed and I'll be like, did that make it to the cut? And then I'll listen back to the song and be like, no, I did a good job mixing. Like I feel really confident about my mix. It's not the cleanest mix compared to I Need 25, which is arguably my best mix to date. But regardless, with all the parts that I was working with, I think Trust the Grind turned out really well as a song. This brings us to I Need 25. So I Need 25 is kind of an interesting case. I'll tell you about the story of right after I dropped this single. So I had Tactical Nuke, and then I had this single that came out from my album. This was like the promo I was doing. And me and my friend Allie were walking back from Firkin, which is a bar really close to Residence. And Allie had asked me, what's the deeper meaning behind I Need 25? And I really could not answer her. And to this day, I have no idea. Like, I don't think there was a deeper meaning about this song. It's really about like talkies, pretty much. It's just a fun track. I think if someone was to say, oh, this is Jake's worst track on his album because he's not really talking about anything, like I could give that to you, maybe. I don't know about worst track, but I really love the production on this track, the mixing, and just like the vibe. It can suit with anything. Like there's the more fun parts, but like also I've had times where I'm feeling sad and this song comes on, you know, on shuffle or because I put it on because I play my music, and it just suits really well. I really like how I did the outro and the production switches like midway through the song because it never really feels stale. Ad-libs are fire, autotune was fire. I'm just really proud of how this song turned out, even though I'm talking about Hot Chip.
That's cringe!
So yeah, that's my album ranking. It is your boy, Future JL. Closing thoughts on my album. Transitions were a lot better than I remember them being. Like this album was kind of, it's not like a concept album. It wasn't meant to be like a cohesive project front to back, but it's more of like a single compilation, which you guys can feel. But no, even the tracks without transitions that I purposely put in there, like Who Really Cares to Tactical Nuke was purposeful. You know, Unitype to Robots to Trust the Grind, purposeful. But other transitions like PowerPoint to Backtrack Remix was actually really good. So yeah, no, I'm super satisfied with the project. That's why I'm still doing the rollout like 13 months after I dropped the project, bro. Now we're doing Instagram stuff.
Yo, back at it, boys. Alright, let's go to my Instagram. So I kind of already spoiled some of the responses for myself accidentally. Okay. The first response is, your mom gay. So Edgar said, best tracks for Robarts to Backtrack Tactical Nuke. No, what? Robarts Backtrack, bro? I mean, I guess that just goes to show you different people have different tastes and like, they're not always gonna agree with me, but no, these are definitely not the best tracks on the album. I disagree. Sam said, I think I listened to Who Is That 200 times on Deezer. Oh, no. On Deezer nuts. God, that ass. Yeah, Who Is That is fire. Shasta P just said, Southside 805. Fire emoji, clap emoji, clap emoji. Yeah, it's cool. You know, Southside 805. It's cool. Ali said, all of them. You're a lie. You're a liar. Name all the tracks right now. No looking, Ali. Do it. Name all the tracks. You won't be able to. Fake fan. Nick Chang said, you should make a deluxe album with a shit ton of features. No deluxe album. Although I do have a new mixtape with a shit ton of features coming up. Hit me up. I might have to show you these beats, bro. Get you on that mixtape, boy. Okay, so Max said best / most relatable. Who really cares? You know, I'm not gonna like hate on this. I'm not gonna disagree. Most relatable is like, I don't really have a say as saying what's like the most relatable. I think a lot of people, like especially if you're going through school or like if you're going through like seasonal depression, hit me up like, yo, I really fuck with this. Yeah. Also, just the song structure is like super tight for this one. I just think it's a really like good song. All right, yeah. Next opinion. Joe said another album ASAP. Yes, sir. Okay, Li said, Who Really Cares, Trust the Grind, and Robards top 3 tracks. I don't care if that's a hot take, but yeah. Alright, at least he said it with his chest, bro. Who really cares to trust the grind? I can see me top 3 for Robarts, bro. Robarts is cool. The drums should have hit harder, bro. I should have hit the drums harder. I mean, like, some people probably like them the way they are. It just, like, doesn't feel... I think it's finished, right? But it's not like... I had an idea and it wasn't fully fleshed out, in my opinion. You know? I don't know. Whatever. NJ said, Robarts is better than My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Ah! Stop the cap. Pain. All I know is pain. I think that's the end of the responses. You guys are funny, bro. You guys are jokes. No, I love you guys. Okay, so final announcements before I go. Right now, I got a job, bro. I'm also managing NJ's upcoming project, NC-17 Purgatory. I'll try to... I don't even know why I'm pointing because we don't even have an album cover yet. That's hopefully coming out like July, that project. And then my mixtape that I am working on will hopefully come out like August, September-ish.
Stop the cap.
This is going to be my feature-heavy project. So if you want to be on the project, just hit me up. If you have my number, text me, you know, slide in the comments. Well, no, maybe not the comments because I don't really check comments like that, but yeah. I'll see you guys later. Bye.